Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I pay my homage to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. I pay my homage to Bada Bante, Guru Bante, Bhikkhu Sang. I give my metta and blessing to the anagarikas and upasikas. So today's meditation was not so easy, I suppose, because of the sound around. But this is also one of the practice to maintain equanimity, to maintain some kind of balance when there are a lot of disturbances outside, but there is also disturbances within your own self. That's the thing of the world. During such kind of sounds around, it will be ideal to practice metta bhavana, that is sharing loving kindness toward everybody, toward everyone, so that you are not disturbed by the sound, you are not angry about to the people who are making sounds, so you are not, you are equanimous. So today I would like to share the teaching from Dhammapada. Last Sunday I share the first sloka, first gatha from the Dhammapada, which was about Venerable Pāli, the monk who became enlightened and also became blind because of his past karma of destroying somebody's eye. So that was last Sunday, and how that kind of brought him misery, because of the bad karma of spoiling somebody's eye. So today there is the story about Matthakundali from Dhammapada 2. So here it is the opposite of last Sunday's Gatha. Last Sunday Gatha was about how Padutta Chitta, a bad mind, unhealthy mind, a wrong mind brings misery. And this Sunday it is about how Pasanna Chitta, that is Prasanna, that is good mind, brings happiness. So today it is the opposite of that. And the story also is kind of a good one, how good karma has brought happiness to Matthakundali. So Matthakundali, he was a son of a Brahmin in Savatthi city. And he was called Matthakundali because he was wearing an earring which was handmade by his father to save money because his father was wealthy but extremely stingy. He was very rich but extremely stingy. So he won't buy earring for his son to save money. So that's why it is called Matthakundali. That is a kind of handmade earring, kundali. And his father was Adinna Pubbaka. Adinna Pubbaka means never giver. Adinna Pubbaka. So somebody who never gave, who never share anything, who never give anything to anybody, including his own family. That much of extreme stingy miserliness that Adinna Pubbaka was. There is a similar story of one person called Soraya. He was also very much stingy. So once his son got ill, the jaundice sickness, he was suffering from jaundice illness, and his mother asked his father, don't we bring doctor, don't we show it to some doctor, his sickness. So he said, if I show to the doctor, I have to lose some money. So I don't want to show to the doctor. And then he went to some doctor. He just learned something from them, just some kind of guidance. And on his own, he went to the forest, brought some herbs, some kind of roots, and made some homemade kind of a medicine and gave to his son. But unfortunately, that medicine didn't work. That didn't work, and that sickness became even more worse. And when he knew that the sickness became very much worse, almost at the stage of dying, his son was literally about to die. At that moment, he brought doctor, and the doctors, the moment they saw Matthakundali, understood that cannot be recovered. His sickness cannot be recovered. And the doctors, they said, we can't do anything. But they just simply said, I have to go somewhere, right? I have to urgently see another patient. That way they would just go away. They would just leave the place. And then Matthakundali understood that now he is going to die. So what he did is he put his son on the veranda outside the house. The reason he did that was, when the people come, when he dies, people come, they would see his house and his wealth, and he didn't want people to see his wealth, maybe afraid that they may ask for it or take it away, or for whatever reason. So he just kept his son outside on the veranda just to die, right? Because at this point, nothing can be done. The son has to just die. And he did that. He kept on the veranda, and of course, he was regretting hugely at this point. And then now, on that day, Buddha saw him in his Mahakaruna Samapatti, the great compassionate meditation. So the Buddha used to practice this meditation every morning, right, around 4 to 4 o'clock at that time, till 6 o'clock, almost 2 hours, he used to meditate on this Mahakaruna Samapatti, wherein somebody who is ready for spiritual awakening, somebody who is mature enough to receive his teaching and who would understand his teaching and who would achieve some spiritual awakening. So he would do that. He would see that every morning. And on that day, in his net of compassion meditation, Matthakundali appeared in his vision, right? And then he understood about him. He focused his mind on him, and he understood everything about him, and he exactly knew what to do and how to help. As Buddha is called Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi, which means an incomparable guide for individuals, which means he can help every individual, especially those who are mature enough spiritually. He knows what to say, what to tell, so that they can just become enlightened, awakened right at that moment, or at the earliest. In many cases, right at the moment, and in some cases, after few months or years. So therefore, Buddha was called Anuttaro Purisadhamma Sarati, because he can focus on individual and see their weaknesses, what we call asayanusaya jnana, which means the dormant defilements of people, the dormant weaknesses of people, as well as indriya paroparayati jnana. Indriya means all the spiritual faculties, all the good faculties that every individual has. He would know that as well. He would know what level of faculties and what are the faculties, because there are different spiritual faculties like faith and wisdom and energy and samadhi, and all other different spiritual faculties. So he would know. And then he went to the house of Matthakundali, and he went with other monks. He took other monks along with him, and then he just sat outside. He just stood outside and sent a vision, sent a light, a kind of radiance toward Matthakundali. And Matthakundali just got the light, and then he just moved, because at that point he was not even able to move his head around. It was that bad. As you remember, he was on the verge of dying, right? So he just moved his head with so much difficulty, and then he saw Buddha, right, with all the compassion. And when he saw the Buddha, he generated a huge amount of faith in the Buddha, a huge amount of love and compassion or good thoughts toward the Buddha, or recollected the qualities of Buddha, which he had heard before, but he didn't know much. He didn't have any much knowledge, because his father won't take him to Buddha. His father was not interested, and then as a result he was not so much aware much about Buddha, but he knew something about Buddha which he heard from other people, which he heard, and as a result he had some faith in Buddha already. And when he saw Buddha live, just there, because at that point he was totally helpless, and Buddha just coming there was a huge relief for him, right? And he generated a deep amount of faith, and then Buddha just left, right? Because Buddha knew that's the only thing he can do at that point. And because of that moment of a good mind, right? A mind that is rooted in faith in something good, like Buddha, somebody who is good. So because of that, his mind became totally joyful. He became very happy. He became peaceful, right? He was not much sad at that point. And then after just a while, within a few minutes, he died, right? And after he died, he was born in Tavatimsa heaven, Tavatimsa Deva Loka. It is one of the heavenly world, Deva world. He was reborn there, and He had a big palace, a huge palace with so many other divine beings. And now this father, he was of course totally depressed, dejected, and sad, and regretful. He was feeling guilty that he didn't help his son. He was very much remorseful, and he used to go every day to the cremation ground, where the son was cremated, and he would say, "Where are you, my only son? Where are you, my only son?" That's how he used to say every day. And now this Deva, the young Deva, who just suddenly became a Deva, he was contemplating how I became a Deva, how he became a Deva, what made him to become a Deva. He was thinking, right? He was trying to find, and found that he was a human being in the past, and because of the last moment, a good joyful mind, he became a Deva. And this last moment thought, which we call Chuti Chitta or Maranasana Chitta, Marana Asana Chitta, death proximate Chitta, a Chitta, a mind that is just before the death, right? It is very important, because it is said that the last Chitta plays a huge role in deciding your future life, in deciding your just immediate next life, right? So that is something very important. It is mentioned in Abhidhamma, the Buddhist psychology. It is mentioned. So you will see three things, right? Before you die, you will see three things: kamma, kamma nimitta, gati nimitta. Kamma, kamma nimitta, gati nimitta. That is, first you will remember your action. One of the prominent action that you have done in your life, during your lifetime, that will come to your mind. It can be good karma, it can be bad karma, but it will come in your mind. And if bad karma comes, chances are that you will go somewhere lower. Your next rebirth would be lower. And if there is good, then there is chances that you will have a good rebirth. Then kamma nimitta. Kamma nimitta means you will see certain vision of something that is related to your karma. For example, you have done a good karma. Let's say you have, in this case, Matthakundali, he generated faith toward Buddha, right? He generated the Shraddha toward Buddha. And that is a good karma. And before he died, he saw that in his mind. Even for the bad karma, you say if you've done something bad, you will see something. For example, somebody say hit somebody, kill somebody. So they may see some the tools, maybe the knife or some kind of wood, any articles that are connected to that bad karma or good karma. You will see that. And the last one is gati nimitta, which means the gati, your destiny, which means your next life. So say if you are going to reborn in a Deva world, you will see some heavenly mansion, heavenly palaces, heavenly garden, or if you are going to go in an animal world, you would see some jungle like that, right? So you will already see your next life, something which is connected to your next life, any kind of place and article. So these three things can come, right, before you die. So although we cannot say entirely depends on this, it also depends on your own accumulated overall karmic force, right? Throughout your life, cumulative record of your own karma. So whatever, throughout your life, it's like a collection of your entire life, right? Maybe bit by bit, small by small, as a thing. So it need not be just one karma deciding your next life, right? But in some cases, it can happen. One particular karma can just decide your next life. So this is a very important one before death. And therefore, one of the practice we do is when somebody is dying, we tell them good thing, right? We have to tell them good thing. We have to remind them all the good thing they have done throughout their life. You see, some good memories. Or, tell something good teaching. Or in Buddhist culture, we do chanting. The monks would go, and before when the person is about to die, they would do chanting, a sutra, like a puja or chanting. So like that, we should not create a bad atmosphere. We should only speak good thing when somebody is dying, because that's very important. That last moment is very crucial, crucial for the next life, right? So that's how this, I think that's why Buddha came, and Buddha knew that the least thing he can do. And not only just for that, but he also knew that there will be some more spiritual benefit also to both the father and the son and many other people. So he also saw that part as well, not just to send him to heaven, but more than that, which is awakening, which is enlightenment. Because in Buddhist teaching, heaven is not the ultimate, heaven is not the goal. Enlightenment is the goal, right? Awakening is the goal. So that's how the thing, Buddha kind of help. So now this Deva, this Matthakundali, he thought that he would help his father. I should go and help my father. I should do something, right? So he went there, and he also started. He was just near the. He just took the form of a human, and he also started weeping, right? He also, just like his father, he also started weeping. Right? He was just crying and weeping. And the Brahmins, his father, he saw, and he asked, you adorned and beautiful, why are you weeping in the forest? So he was he was with all the adornment, with all the gold and, like nice clothes and everything. He was fully decorated, fully sort of well-dressed and everything, and all of that, but he was still weeping. So his father asked, why are you look so beautiful, you are so adorned, but you are weeping. Why are you crying in this forest? His father asked Matthakundali. Then Matthakundali, he said that I have a golden chariot, but I don't have wheels. I don't have wheels. That's why I am so sad. That's why I am totally sad. So the Brahmin said that. I can. Why are you? I can help you. I can help you with that. I can give you wheels. But then Matthakundali said, no, I don't want normal will. I want sun and moon, right? My will for the chariot should be sun and the moon, right? Then the Brahmin replied, you are a fool to desire the impossible. You will die without getting them. So the Brahmin said, you are a fool. How can you make sun and moon as the will of your chariot? It is just not possible. You will just die, but you will not get it. Right? Then this Matthakundali said, who is more foolish, the one who cries for the impossible or the one who cries for the unseen? The dead do not return. Who is truly foolish? Then Matthakundali said that at least I can see the sun and moon, right? But you are just, I can see the sun and moon and I'm not getting it, so I'm looking for it. But you are crying for your son who is no more, right? And you want it. You don't even see him now. Where he is, you don't know, but you are still weeping, you are crying. So tell me, who is more foolish, I or you? I or you, right? So then the Brahmin understood. Indeed, I am more foolish. I cried for the dead like a child. I'm like a child for the moon. So he said, I am the foolish person, because I am crying for somebody who died, just like a child who would look for a moon. So he kind of realized at this point that he's just unnecessarily weeping and crying, right? Because now, how much you cry, you're not going to get somebody who died, right? That's the reality. And that's what Buddha speaks in Tirukutta Sutta, that if you just cry and weep, you are not going to get anything, right? It is not going to help anyway. That's what Buddha says. And that's the reality, right? So we may cry, we may weep, and somehow people do that. When somebody dies, they just become sad and depressed, but what is the point? You're not going to get anything. Somebody has already died. So now the Brahmin, he understood what his son said, and he praised this his son. Of course, at this point, he's still not aware that that Deva is his son. Like water on fire, you have extinguished my grief. You have removed the dirt of sorrow from my heart. Now I am peaceful. I no longer cry. So he said that you have, he expressed his gratitude that I was burning from the fire. I was burning with the fire of sorrow. I was always burning, but you have just extinguished like water through your wisdom. So he expressed his thing. So he was now totally peaceful. The Brahmin then asked, "Who are you, noble youth?" The youth replied, "The one for whom you weep, I am your son. I did one wholesome deed, developed faith in the Buddha, and have been reborn among the gods." The Brahmin said, "We saw no giving or virtue in you at home. How did you reach the heaven?" The youth explained, "Sick and suffering, lying at home, I saw the Buddha, pure and radiant, and raised my hands in devotion. That one act brought me to the God's realm." Hearing this, the Brahmin was filled with joy and wonder. He declared, "Marvelous, marvelous, so powerful is a gesture of reverence. I too, joyful and faithful, take refuge in the Buddha." The youth said, "Take refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Undertake the 5 precepts, keep them unbroken. Refrain from killing, refrain from stealing, refrain from intoxicant, refrain from lying, be content with your own spouse." That's what he said. Now he asked, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm your son." He revealed himself, and then he said that I develop faith in the Buddha, and I'm here. And he said, he's asking, you never did any dana, you never did any following of Shila and any kind of spiritual practice, and how come you are born in the divine world? And he says that because at the pure heart I paid my respect through the mind, because he was not even able to fold his hand, but just through his mind, he paid respect to the Buddha, and that kind of brought him there. So he kind of experienced everything, as you can see here, and he had all the joy, and he tells his father, you must also take refuge in the Buddha, the Buddhang Sharanang Gacchami, Dhammang Sanghang Sharanang Gacchami, that is taking refuge in the Buddha. It is called Sharanam, that is you develop this confidence, a kind of faith in the Buddha, in the Buddha's enlightenment, in the Buddha's quality, in the Buddha's wisdom, right? So you take refuge in Buddha, and then you take 5 precepts, that is not to kill, not to steal, not to commit sexual misconduct, not to tell lie, and not to take alcohol. These are the 5 precepts, so the very basic. So generally, somebody who wish to follow Buddha, they have to follow 2 things, that is first, having this faith in the Buddha, that is recollecting the qualities of Buddha, understanding Buddha, his qualities, his enlightenment, his greatness, and then his teaching, and then all the qualities of all the other enlightened disciples, all the people who also became enlightened like the Buddha. You see, so these 3 refuge. So they are like refuge because that Buddha is a refuge because it Buddha keeps you protected, right? You are somehow aligned, right? So if you don't have Buddha, then your mind and your life is not aligned. It is not sort of put into the track. It is not on the track, right? Because when you have faith in Buddha, then your spirituality is also aligned. And then followed by these 5 basic precepts. These are the basic, these 5 principles, they are basic ethical conduct, right? They are basic good conduct. They are very powerful. They are the natural lifestyle of the Sotapanna. Sotapanna is somebody who achieved the first stage of enlightenment. So that's the quality, right? That Panchashila, these 5 precepts. So it's a very powerful. So if you maintain these 5 precepts and have faith in Buddha, that is a very, very powerful quality, and especially for family people who are in their families, they cannot be like a monk, they cannot practice so much of meditation and teaching, but at least having faith in the Buddha, surrendering to Buddha, and then following these 5 precepts, that has a very... So this is what he suggested, and then this he is also said, Brahmana, there is much wealth in your house. Go to the teacher, give alms, listen to Dhamma, and ask questions. And then he vanishes. So he tells his father, you have so much wealth. Do some dana, share some, give some dana to the Buddha, to all the holy saint, holy disciples, and then listen to some dharma, some good teaching. So to listen to the dharma and then ask questions, right? Not just believing blindly, but even though we should have faith in Buddha, but at the same time we should also question, things that are not clear to us. We shouldn't just blindly follow Buddha, but we have to ask questions, and we have to be generous. We have to share, because his father Adinna Pubaka never shared. Because of that, he lost his son, right? So we have to be generous. So we have to be generous to our own family members, to friends and relatives, and then to the religious, to the spiritual religious people like monks and others. So then listen to Dharma. Very important, because when you listen to Dharma, just like you all listen every Sunday, that kind of keeps your faith in the Buddha intact, right? Because if you don't listen to the Buddha, Dhamma, then your faith in Buddha decreases. So when your faith in Buddha decreases, then your stingy greed or stinginess increases, like adinapubhaga. Basically all negative, anger or any kinds of wrong mindset, mental qualities increases. And then the question is important, so that whatever doubt you have becomes clear. And then you have more, and your faith becomes a confident conviction, right? Then there is more benefit. Then the Brahmins, he went to his home and he tells his wife, "Dear, today I will invite Samana Gautama and ask him a question. Prepare hospitality." So he goes to his wife and he says, "I am going to invite Shamana Gautama." So Shamana Gautama was how people used to call Buddha, right? So everybody won't call Buddha as Bhante or Blessed One, but some used to call him Gautama, some used to call him Samana Gautama, like that. So at this point, he is still not totally aware of Buddha's qualities. So he is calling Buddha Samana Gautama, right? Otherwise, generally we call Buddha as Bhante or Blessed One or Tathagata, So he says, prepare some food and everything, I am going to invite him. So then he goes to the monastery and he invites Buddha, and Buddha accepts his invitation, and he invites Buddha without much showing any respect, right? In the sense, without proper respect, right? So generally when we invite Buddha or monks, we bow down 3 times, we fold our hand and we invite, right? But in his case, he just went and he said, "Shamana Gautama, please come to my home tomorrow," right? Because he was not aware at this point. But still Buddha went, right? Because Buddha knew that he has spiritual ability, right? So Buddha did not took much attention, or he did not see this as a wrong thing, the way he invited, right? In a very casual way. But he saw that there is spiritual potential in him, so therefore Buddha just accepted. And then generally Buddha accepted with silence. So he went and he prepared everything there, and everybody, all the monks and Buddha, they were all invited, and he served food to all the monks with his own hand. And then, so now when the Buddha was seated, he asked Buddha, after the food, he asked, "Hey Gautama, can someone be reborn in heaven only by mental devotion, without giving, worship, hearing Dhamma, or observing Uposatha?" The Buddha replies, so he is asking Buddha that, because he was very much curious, that how his son became a Deva without much spiritual practices, just because of some devotion. So he asked, can it happen without making any dana, giving something, or puja, or hearing Dhamma, observing Uposatha, which means the 8 precepts, more than 5 precepts, there are 8 precepts which family people can observe during full moon day, new moon day, and especially during this 3 months of rainy season, Varsha Vasa, you see. So such thing. So without this, just by having a mental devotion, can it happen? The Buddha said, Brahmana, didn't your own son Matthakundali attain heavenly rebirth by just developing faith in me? So Buddha said, you have only, you yourself heard from your son. So you are aware, you already know it. Then Brahmin said, when did that happen, Gautama? The Buddha explained, just today you went to the charnel ground and saw a youth, your son, beautifully adorned, being praised by two others, and you cried out to him. This was Matthakundali. So he said, your own son came yesterday, and he is born in the divine world because of that strong sort of faith in the Buddha. Then the Buddha said, not just 1 or 200 people, there is no count of those who attain heaven by placing faith in me. So Buddha saying that placing faith, so it is called Buddhanusati, that is recollecting the qualities of Buddha. So when we say faith in Buddha, it means you recollect the qualities of Buddha, right? And then you become, as a result of that, you become joyful, right? So there are 9 qualities of Buddha. So, and many qualities actually, 9 being one of the most popular one, that is, he is a perfect one, fully enlightened one, embodiment of wisdom and conduct, and knower of the world, the one who, the Sugato, which means the one who is fortunate one, and then Anuttara Purisadhamma Sarati I already mentioned, and Sattha Deva Manusanam, that is the teacher of gods and men. So Buddha is not just teacher of human beings, but gods as well. And Buddha, awakened one, and Bhagava, the blessed one. So which means he is somebody who achieved the enlightenment, and with not only enlightenment, but by his own power, by his own ability, without anybody's support, he became enlightened, and he discovered the truth, which is the Four Noble Truth, that is suffering, the noble truth of suffering, the noble truth of cause of suffering, the noble truth of the end of suffering, and the noble truth of the way to the end of suffering, the Four Noble Truth, right? So that is something he discovered, and then he has all the knowledge of mind, body, the world, every knowledge he has, and he just speaks those knowledge which are required for enlightenment, right? Even though he has knowledge of everything in the world, but he won't speak, right? He just speaks those knowledges which are required for spiritual awakening, right? So all the other worldly knowledge, all the other normal knowledge, he generally won't share, even though he knows, right? And then conduct. He has the ultimate conduct, which means his karma or his behavior, his thought and speech and action are perfect. There is not a single mistake you will see in the Buddha. Right? Perfectly good conduct. And likewise, knower of the world, the Triloka, Kama Loka, Rupa Loka, Arupa Loka. He knows all the world, the 31 existent, the hell world, the animal world, the demonic world, the animal world, and the human world, and the 6 Deva world, 16 Brahma world, and the 4 Brahma world. All these 31 existences, he knows everything about them, who are born where, what karma brings people where, how people are born, how people die, what are the karma that they do, everything, how people become happy, how people become sad, how they achieve thing, how they lose thing. He knows everything. Lokavidu, which means knower of the world. Right? He knows everything, every single thing. And teachers of gods and men. So even he even taught the Brahmas. Some of the Brahmas he taught, like for example, Baka Brahma. He taught to the Baka Brahma, Brahma Sahampati. In fact, Brahma Sahampati was the one who invited him to teach, right? Because Buddha was considering not to teach because he thought that his teaching is so deep that people will not understand, right? So he's a teacher of even the Brahmas, even the Devas, because Devas and Brahmas, they are very beautiful, they are, very long lived, but they are still not enlightened. Majority of Devas and Brahmas, some are enlightened, but not everyone, right? So they also need the help of Buddha to become enlightened. So like this, we have to, when we generate the qualities of Buddha, and this quality of Buddha is not just like an individual quality, right? It is quality that is the pinnacle, right? That is the top of any human potential, right? So we all have our own spiritual qualities, but when it comes to Buddha, that is the ultimate quality, which means Buddha was also human being. He was also common human being like all of us, but he developed all the paramis, all the spiritual paramis, or means the spiritual qualities that are required to become Buddha, right? So Buddha is, you can say, the pinnacle of human potential, right? So all human beings, all of us, monks as well as all of you, the family people, has the potential to become enlightened, right? So Buddha also achieved by going through similar struggle like we all go through, right? We all go through spiritual struggle and any kind of struggle. Buddha also went through in the same way, right? So you can say the Buddha is the embodiment of highest human potential, having all the spiritual qualities, right? So like this, when we develop a faith in the confidence, conviction, so we get joy, and it is a form of meditation as well, right? So Buddhanusati is not just a kind of a mantra, but it is a meditation, right? So that, just like the breath meditation, this is also on meditation that gives us joy, and that gives us samadhi, that gives us wisdom, right? So therefore, you can see that when we develop faith in the Buddha, we can be really protected, we can be really growing spiritually as well. So then so then Buddha thought that let people also see, right? He thought that people may not be, some of the people may not have still faith in the Buddha and also in the law of karma. So Buddha just mentally asked Matthakundali to just come and show himself. So he comes in his divine form, right? He comes in divine form. He comes to the public and at the gathering, and then Buddha asked him, with such beauty, lighting all direction like a celestial harp, what good did you do as a human, O being of great power? So this is what Buddha said. What did you do? How come you are a divine being with so much of radiant power and so much of glory? So Matthakundali said, whenever, sir, I obtained this prosperity solely by developing a serene mind towards you. So in front of everyone, he says, I got all of this because I developed a great joy into you, a faith in you, a kind of a a good faith in you. Then people were all very much happy. Amazing are the Buddha's quality. Even the son of a stingy Brahmana, without doing any other good deed, attain such glory through faith in the Buddha. So all the people, they were talking that, oh, what a amazing, what a good thing that a son whose father is so stingy, but just a short amount of faith in Buddha help Matthakundali to become a Deva, to be reborn in the Deva world. So everybody were very much amazed and astonished, and they were all happy. Then the Buddha gave this Dhammapada Gatha, Manopubbang Gama Dhamma, Manosattha Manomaya, Manasache Padut Pasannena, Bhasati va Karoti va, Tatonang Sukhamanveti, Chaya va Anapayani. Which means, mind is the forerunner of all phenomena, mind is chief, they are all mind-made. If one speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness follows like a shadow that never leaves. So, it is similar to last Sunday's verse, but the only difference is Manasache Pasannena, that is with a good mind. So again, for some of you who were not last Sunday, let me just little bit tell about the Gatha. So Manupubang Gamadhamma. Mind is the first, mind is the first. For everything starts first in the mind, right? So many a time we ask how it came, how it started, how the world started, how, we just want to look for the first beginning, the cause. But Buddha is saying everything starts from the mind. Your world starts from the mind. Your world ends in the mind. The beginning of the world, the end of the world is in your mind, is in you, right? So, of all things, Dhamma, all the things, everything, which is everything means everything. Physical, verbal, even the qualities in the mind, negative and positive, everything first starts in the mind. Mind is the first one. Mind is the chief, Shrestha. The biggest thing in your life is your mind, right? You may consider many things as biggest, but your own mind is the biggest thing for you, because it controls everything. Your mind controls everything. That is why it is chief. And mind made, everything is made from the mind, because everything is created from the mind. Because your mind creates your life. Your mind creates your happiness, your misery, everything, right? Your relationship, your happiness, misery, whatever. Everything is created from the mind. If one speaks or acts with a pure mind, so if you speak with a pure mind, if you act with a pure mind, whatever you are speaking, whatever you are doing with a pure mind, with a good mind, that is mind of compassion, love, caring, sharing, generosity, compassion, equanimity, so this is very important, right? This is some of this good qualities of the mind is very important always, and more so in today's time, right? So we give importance to many other things, but we don't give importance to the good mind, which is very important. What is compassion? We should be compassionate to each other, which means we should understand each other's problem, right? Everybody goes through problem, so we have to be careful, we have to be compassionate. And we have to help each other, care each other, speak good thing to each other, help each other, and we should not see too much of negative in each other. We should see more positive. Buddha said that don't see too much negative in people, right? See good thing. Even if a small good thing, see that. Lot of bad thing, don't see. Don't see much. Don't keep in the mind. Because when you're seeing, it means you are keeping in the mind, right? So again, your mind is polluted when you see too much, So, therefore, we have to always keep a good mind toward people. Maybe people are crazy, people are, troublemaker, people are, problem creator, but still you should not allow your mind to become disturbed, right? You have to, of course, even though you become disturbed, but you shouldn't allow your mind to remain disturbed, right? Maybe for some point, for some moment you become disturbed, but then you should not allow that disturbances to continue. You have to make an effort to come out of that and to not remain disturbed. Because if you remain disturbed, you're going to suffer. And you're going to suffer, and people around also are going to become suffer. So, as much as possible, create good thought in the mind about yourself, about others, about everyone. As much as possible, focus on the good thing, do good thing, speak good thing all the time, 24/7, morning, evening, afternoon, night, even in dreams, of course, which you don't have control. But, every moment is important for us to have good thought, good speech, good action all the time, mindful. We have to be mindful all the time. So then, that is very important, because you see, mind is everything. Mind is the chief. Mind is the everything created from the mind. Mind goes first. Mind is the first one which goes first. So, if you speak with good mind, then what happens? Happiness follows you like your shadow that never leaves. Chayava anapayani. So, last time it was chakkang vavahato, which means like a ox with a wheel. When the ox moves, the wheel follows, but it is so burdensome for the ox. So negativity is like the ox who is pulling those wheel, right? Heavy wheel. So if you are keeping negative in mind, you are taking those negative with you. It's a very heavy one. It's a very heavy for you, right? But you are keeping it. Even though you are suffering, you are still keeping those negative. Why do you keep it, right? It is so burdensome. It is so heavy. So don't keep it, right? You have to leave it. But good thought, it's like a shadow. Your shadow always follow you. It never leaves you. But when it follows you, you don't even know that it is following you, right? It is so light. You don't even have any feeling. So it is very light, So positive thing, good mind makes you lighter, makes you more and more lighter. Negative thing makes you more and more heavier, right? Just like good food makes you lighter, right? Less weight. Junk food makes you more heavy, right? Even physically, you can say. So also, good thought, good speech, good action makes you very lighter. So just like this story of Matthakundali, for the short span of time, he created a very good mind. But we must also understand that Matthakundali also had his own, what we call his own past spiritual capacity, right? Spiritual maturity, right? So therefore, of course, he was able to do that. So it's not like suddenly he just saw the Buddha and he got a faith, but of course, he had his own past good spiritual qualities, past in the sense not necessarily in this life, but in past lives as well, right? So that is also to understand. But still, even if he had some kind of past spiritual maturity or spiritual quality, he would have worked for that, right? He definitely would have worked for that, right? So whatever spiritual qualities we have in the past will come to us, right? Will follow us. So will give us fruit. So that's how it happened. And after then Buddha gave the teaching, and after the teaching, many thousand people become enlightened. And Matthakundali, he also became Sotapanna. He achieved the first stage of enlightenment. And that stingy Brahmin, that Brahmin also became Sotapanna. He also became first stage of enlightenment. So like that, lot of people were benefited. And as I said in the beginning, that Buddha saw that many people are going to become benefited. So you can see here the qualities of Buddha, right? That he was able to help a stingy person who just lost his son just in the cremation ground, weeping, crying, now enlightened. His son too in the heaven and enlightened. And thousands of people also enlightened. So this is the quality of Buddha. This is the power of Buddha. This is the ability of Buddha. This is the enlightenment of Buddha. This is the wisdom of Buddha. So that's why we need to have faith in Buddha. That's why we need to have confidence in Buddha. And that's how Buddha sort of keeps us protected, keeps us on the track, on the right track. Because see, we need some kind of a support, right? Some kind of a anchor for us to grow spiritually, right? We need some kind of support, and that's the Buddha, because Buddha himself is spiritually enlightened, spiritually fully grown, fully mature, fully enlightened. So we also can follow Buddha, and we can also become enlightened like the Buddha, right? So this is the teaching, that is how a good mind can bring us happiness and joy, right? So everything is about our mind. So just look at our mind. As we meditate also, we can see our mind. Other time also we have to see our thought. What are the thought I am getting? Is this thought connected with good thought or not? Do I have love, compassion, generosity, helping nature, supporting nature, humility, humble, and care, concern toward people or not? We have to keep checking, because this will only give us happiness. This will give us a lot of happiness, ultimate happiness, and not only us, but people around us, our family, friends, and the community, and the whole nation, right? So very important to have good mind. And one of the best way, as Buddha said, is I always tell this thing again and again. Again I tell you, is keep yourself occupied in good thing all the time, right? All the time. So don't have too much of time for negative, because if you keep your mind for negative, then your mind is not in positive, in good. So good to keep yourself busy in good activity, have a good routine, and which should include maybe all the good thing, like helping others, serving others, and taking care of your health, meditation, listening to some Dhamma. So morning till evening, we have to engage in something good, so that we will have good mind. And that good mind is going to give us happiness, not only in future, but right now. Because the moment you have good mind, you are already happy. You're already happy. You don't need to wait for future, right? You are happy right now. If you have good thought in the mind. But how good thought will come, you also have to listen to Dharma. That's why you come every Sunday, to listen to Dharma, because if you listen to Dharma, then that will help you to have good thought in the mind. Otherwise, what you listen is a lot of time, maybe from people, you hear some negative thing, maybe somebody is scolding you, somebody is finding fault in you. Like that, you find a lot of negativity, right? So when you listen to Dharma, you get good thoughts in the mind. And that good thought will keep good thought in the mind. that will keep the good thought continuing, right? So that will really help us, So mind is everything, as we can see in this Gatha. So please take care of your mind. We have to take care of mind, and that way we will grow in happiness, in joy, and ultimately we will get the ultimate happiness, which is enlightenment, Nibbana. So our goal is happiness in our life. And happiness is something which is rooted in your inner self, which is rooted in your mind, right? Of course, we have to take care of the external thing, but we should not forget that the cause of your happiness is ultimately rooted in your own self, in your own mind. So as we take care of our external thing, we should make sure that we take care of our internal mind, so that we can be happy in the real sense and achieve the ultimate happiness. So with this I conclude. I wish all of you good health, happiness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.